Okay, so today we're going to learn how to create chrome looking blobs just like this one, which is one that we prepared earlier. So just going to get started. Go File and New, and then we'll just have like 640 by 480 for this example. Then we hit OK. Now the first thing we need to do is go to Channels and select this little thing, and then New Channels, and then we'll just call it Alpha 1. Now the next thing we want to do is go into Filter and then Render and select Clouds, and Filter, Render and select different clouds. Then we want to go to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur, and we want to set it as 20. You can sort of play around with that if you want, but we'll just use 20 for now. Now the next thing we want to do is go into Image at the top, then Adjustments, and adjust the levels, or you can press Ctrl L like it says. Now what we want to do here is move this white one first up to here somewhere, and then the black one, so then white one, black one, because we want to get like a few nice circly type things. Okay, so that's how it's gonna look. So we'll just hit OK. Now we want to select all these blobs. So if we hold Control and then click on our Alpha 1 icon, we'll select them like that. Then we want to go into Layers and select New Layer, and then just leave it as Layer 1. Hit OK. And we'll just want to select our color picker. This gray one here should be 50% gray. And then we want to use our Paint Bucket tool to fill them in, so we've got some gray little blobs. Now what we want to do is go back to the channel layer and then select our alpha channel here that we created, and then still have it selected here, and then go into Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur, and we'll select 16, and then Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur again, and then select 8. Then Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur, and select 4. Then we want to deselect the layer, so you can select deselect or Control D. Now what we want to do now is go back to our layer with the gray blobs, and then select, actually before that we got to do a final Gaussian Blur on our channels. Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur, and we'll just do it at number 2. It should look something like that. Now we want to go into our layers, select our layer, then go into Filter, Render, Lighting Effects. Now this is the tricky part, so what we want to do is select the standard 2 o'clock spotlight if you have that. If you don't, you just have to sort of pause the video and copy the settings, and we change both colors to white. Leave all this. This texture channel, we want to select our Alpha 1 channel, and the height we want to select maximum height. Everything else leave the same. You can fiddle with this to sort of get a different chrome looking effect. But yeah, so pause it, copy the settings if you have to, and then we'll hit OK. Now you see it's a little rough, so we want to add a blur to that, Gaussian blur, and just 2 pixels. It's fine. And then we want to reset our colors by pressing the D key, so that changes that to black and white. And then finally we want to add our chrome filter. So if we go into Filters, Sketch, and then Chrome. Now once again you can sort of play around with this. I guess like I sort of recommend the smoothness on max. Detail, you can just, doesn't really matter, you can select 10, 1, 2, whatever. It's all gonna give you a nice looking effect. I'm gonna select 1 here, and so that's giving us that kind of effect. Now that's basically it. I guess with that, because there's a lot of white, we can sort of go into Edit and then Fade Chrome. Now we can change this capacity to 40%, or you can 50% depending, but I'll select 40%, and then can also select these here, and so I prefer the hard mix. It gives that nice shiny finish. If you're going after a black onyx or black chrome effect, you can select difference here, but go with the hard mix, and I kind of like that. So we sort of zoom out. That's what it kind of looks like. We've got a few little chrome blobs. So that's basically it, guys. Keep an eye out for more free videos on our website, lovetohelp.com. That's LUV number 2